U.S.-based company with significant vulnerability to the U.S.-China trade conflict, Apple also seems to be showing resilience, though at a lower level, with an earnings report that boosted their stock price by 6%. You can see that jump on the news there. I think it went from $155 to $165. Apple revenue for Q4 revenue was $84.3 billion. That figure was a 5% fall for the same quarter in 2017, but above expectations. Apple's all-time price high was back in early October at $232 per share, trading today at NASDAQ with just above $150. And for more, we are pleased to be joined by the CEO of Rebellion Research, Alex Fleiss. Alex, welcome back. It's great to see you again. We just spoke about Apple there, obviously, and they are in the news with a major security issue after a 14-year-old boy, a kid, discovered he could spy on his buddies using Apple's video chatting. The flaw impacts millions of iPhone users, Alex, and the company seems to have made some unexpectedly bad moves recently with their China sales, etc. What's your take on Apple?
I've got to tell you, it's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to their problems. Apple has been banking on their brand for years. They haven't had a new major innovation since the iPhone in 2007. In fact, in India, Apple stores are barren. Nobody is buying iPhones whatsoever in India because they don't care about the brand. They want usability and they want price. And right now, Apple's losing in both accounts. My friends at Samsung joke to me, why have an iPhone X? You pay up for no new function from the iPhone 7 or iPhone 6, and it's a status symbol and nothing else. And so I felt it was rather a cop-out for Tim Cook to blame the economy on his fourth quarter. The fact is, people in China just don't want to spend the money it costs for an iPhone X when they can get really better phones at this point for a fraction of the cost.
Yeah, and Alex, they're not worried about Huawei, about the Chinese government spying on. They accept it. So they're not worried about any of the other concerns that some of us may or may not have. Let me ask you related to that, Alex. You know, when we went from, when the world went from 3 to 4G, there was this real spurt. Everybody had to have a new phone so you could watch videos and listen to music and blah, blah, blah. But now that we're thinking, you know, about going to 5G, we're on the cusp of that. Will that have the same impact upon Huawei, Samsung? Samsung's number one, of course, in the world, and then Apple number 3. Will everybody have to rush out and get a 5G phone, or is there not that same urgency to 5G that there was when we were moving to 4G?
Well, the rollout is taking place in urban environments at first, and it won't really be across the U.S. till the end of 2020. But I'm going to tell you, it's the future, and the future is now. You know, 4G enabled the apps of Uber to take place, and, you know, 3G was just the very beginning of the internet on the phone. With 5G, we'll be downloading movies in seconds. We will be able to have really seamless internet wherever we go. So we're talking about driverless cars, but much more so, think of the Jetsons. We're going to be able to have flying taxis. With 5G internet, you get up to 10 times, as many as 100 times higher speed. And so what you have is, without the need for all this bandwidth, the actual devices themselves can have a longer battery life. And so it really opens up a potential that we can't even imagine. I mean, before 4G came out, no one had even thought about Uber. Clearly, they would have invented an Uber. So what will 5G have in store? At this point, if you can imagine it, you can do it. The next 20 years of technology is going to be so exciting.
Let me get your take on the thing that I spoke about briefly in the opening. In Davos, we covered Davos, so we were there, took the show there last year. But there's a little bit of, you know, telling one side and doing something else. All these corporate executives flew in on jets, and then they talked about the need for to deal with climate change. Same is true on artificial intelligence, on robotics. They talk about being sure that we're learning and we know that we're going to deal with workers, that they're not going to all lose their jobs because of robots, etc. But then behind closed doors, there's been a bunch of reports. They're saying, hey, the competition is out there so much in AI, we need to move fast. And damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead, to heck with the workers. What do you make of these stories, Alex?
Well, it's without a doubt true. I mean, McDonald's biggest expense right now is their labor cost. So when they can automate their workforce, McDonald's, looks to be able to save a tremendous, tremendous amount of money. But at the same time, we really need to retrain our workforce. We have to. The AI is going to, according to McKinsey, their major AI report that came out last year, AI is actually going to create more jobs. For instance, the average quantitative hedge fund requires 5 times the employees to manage every single dollar that the average old value fund would. So, in fact, building these systems takes more manpower. And so labor will, be in high demand. But in the meantime, we really need to retrain our workforce.
Absolutely. I want to have you back to talk about this again and again. You spoke with us about AI before, and you were great, and you were today, too, and great on Apple, too. Very interesting stuff about 5G. Alex Fleiss, the CEO of Rebellion Research. Great to see you again. Thank you so much, Alex.
Oh, my pleasure. Have a great day. Enjoy the